Today we are delving into a truly small event in history, the Anglo-Zanzibar War of 1896. This conflict holds the record as the shortest war in history, lasting less than an hour, or 38 minutes to be exact. Our story takes place in the late 19th century, at the time when European powers were expanding their influence across Africa and Middle East. The island of Zanzibar, located off the east coast of Africa, was a strategic location for controlling trade routes, especially those linked to the lucrative spice trade. By the late 1800s, Zanzibar had become a British protectorate, though it retained a degree of autonomy under its own sultan. In 1893, Sultan Hamad bin Uwaini was installed as ruler of Zanzibar. Hamad had a cooperative relationship with the British and largely followed their wishes. However, when Hamad suddenly died on August 25, 1896, the situation quickly escalated. His cousin Khalid bin Bargash seized the palace and declared himself the new sultan. The problem? Khalid was not the British choice for the throne. They wanted a more compliant ruler, Hamad bin Mohammed. As soon as Khalid took power, the British demanded that he step down and leave the palace. Khalid refused, believing that his control of the palace and the support of local Zanzibari forces would be enough to secure his rule. However, the British were prepared to act decisively. They gave Khalid an ultimatum: surrender by 9 a.m. on August 27th or face military action. Khalid attempted to rally his forces, but the odds were not in his favor. While he had around 3,000 soldiers, many of them were lightly armed and poorly trained. On the other hand, the British had 3 warships anchored in the harbor, armed with modern naval artillery, as well as marines and sailors ready for combat. When the deadline passed at 9:02 a.m., the British immediately opened fire on Sultan's palace. The bombardment was intense and effective. Within minutes, the palace was heavily damaged and Khalid's forces were in disarray. British Marines quickly landed and secured key positions around the palace. The Zanzibari artillery, no match for the British, was quickly neutralized. By 9:40 a.m., the fighting was over. The Anglo-Zanzibar War had lasted just 38 minutes. Khalid fled from the palace and sought refuge in the German consulate, where he was granted asylum. The British installed Hamad bin Mohammed as the new sultan, solidifying their control over Zanzibar.